Welcome to this episode of the JAPcast. In this video, we will talk about the roles in Hell Let Loose and how they play out on the battlefield. We decided to split several roles into different videos. The roles we're discussing in this video is the infantry role of the rifleman, assault, and support. So far we feel that these roles are very similar. So let's start with the rifleman. The rifleman has a little ammo box, and I think that the rifleman could use some other things, like a grenade launcher. What do you guys think?
I think a grenade launcher should be reserved for a different role, but I think that is going to implement it when tanks and the anti-tank role needs to be fulfilled.
Yeah, but as a rifleman, you have a rifle, and in World War II, you see that with the rifle, they can put a grenade on the front on the rifle, and they can shoot him.
Yeah, I don't know, it could be, but I think for this phase in the alpha, it's not required yet.
Yeah, but when you also think of it from the realistic point of view, the rifleman was the carrier of an M1 Garand, and I guess they would also carry the grenades to shoot them from the rifle itself. But did the Americans actually have different kinds of rifles other than the M1 Garand? Because
the
if so,
Americans
then
did
those-
not, I believe. You had the English Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
That was also mainly more of a long range rifle, more like a sniper. So I don't recall this that easily, but
The carabine.
The Mosin Nagant.
Yeah, but I in this month I don't see a use for that for a rifle weapon that can shoot grenades. I think that should be reserved for later in the game when everything is going to be implemented as they're going to do that.
Well, it would be nice if they would make a difference, or that they would be able to distinguish in some way between rifleman and the automatic rifleman, because so far those two roles have been holding the same weaponry.
I think it's a good idea to require more manpower for an M1 Grand respawn with the bomb or with the shooting grenade than without it. And I think it would also be great that there are when the squads become bigger, because that's something that is requested throughout the forums, that when you have bigger squads, that the rifleman option without the bomb is fairly unlimited to join that sort of role, but when you want to respawn with the bomb or with the grenade, that role is limited.
Okay, now that's that on the rifleman. Let's go to the assault. What do you think, the assault guy? What do you think? What weapon he has? He needs to carry.
Yeah, they now have the MP40 and the Tommy, so I think that's pretty good.
So, what equipment should he have? What should he bring on the battlefield?
Well, he's currently carrying the bandages and one frag grenade, and also those seem like reasonable numbers and items.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think the assault role is spot on.
But as assault, you need to pressure the other team. So, wouldn't it be fair if you have more grenades? Or, yeah, maybe a trip mine? What do you think, guys?
Trip mine sounds like something for the engineer, and I think that with the amount of frag grenades, Yeah, maybe something like a smoke grenade or different types of grenades. But having more grenades, I say would be interesting relative to the other roles, but not necessary for an assault.
Okay.
Because
An
you can
assault.
always resupply for more grenades if you want.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. More on the assault?
I don't think, not really. Maybe that feels a little bit underpowered. In compliance with people use the Carabine M1 Garand in close combat, you should win those fights, in my opinion, if you not play foolishly. But
So when you stand to a rifleman as an assault guy, you should win. Close range.
you should at least have the upper hand because of your automatic capabilities of your weapon. But now I just have the feeling that the rifleman with the Carabine M1 Garand just also has the upper hand in close range because of the one shot, one kill. Which
Yeah, I
seems
saw
to
that
be,
by the Germans with the
it is
with the car. You shoot one shot and the assault guy was down.
and it should
Very
be that
easy.
way, but I don't know. I feel in close combat on both sides of the spectrum which I've tried, and I just feel like the rifleman is so much stronger that it takes too long for time to kill for the assault to do anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
most of the combats feel like it's pretty far range combat. Nothing is really close combat, and when you are in a city or even in a building, then the space
Forest?
between no, not in the forest. When you are in a trench or in a building and you walk upon the stairs, the space where the unit can walk is fairly limited. So as a rifleman, you know almost which spot you need to shoot to hit the pressing assault enemy player. And for the assault in the battlefield in the map we can currently play, it's fairly hard to move from tree to tree or from trench to trench and really get the upper hand in a close combat situation and create those situations.
Okay. That's
I also
fair.
feel that when it comes down to assault, speaking of close range combat, an assault should be having the upper hand with the Tommy or the MP40. And a suggestion that I have to achieve that, imagine standing with an M1 Garand in a church tower. You try to get up and you cannot always aim your M1 Garand properly, so maybe implement that when approaching a wall, when standing basically against the wall with your face, the M1 Garand becomes unable to shoot.
Okay.
You
Fair
kind of hold
point.
it up.
Fair point. So far the assault role. Let's go further to the support role. I think the support role needs another gun than the emigrant because it feels similar to the rifleman. What do you think, guys?
I feel like the support role is basically an upgraded version of the rifleman. So it has the supply crate, which supplies the officer with some necessary what's it called? Well, equipment, manpower, so the officer can build its outpost. And with that, the support has a nice function, but or responsibility, but that's all that it basically has.
So you say it needs another weapon, a bigger weapon. If you say support's coming, what do you think about it? A supply crate or a guy with a heavy gun holding off enemies?
No, the supply crate. Bullets.
Okay.
More bullets.
Okay.
Lots and lots of bullets.
It's fairly hard to say. From my point of view, what the support role does now is bring the crate so that the officer can build something, but I don't have the feeling that the support brings something more to the battlefield for the other roles than, hey, that's a support guy, maybe it's
He's
nice to respawn a bit
north-
closer to this
east
point
side
of
the
action.
barn on the other side of the road,
But-
right in by the fence.
Yeah,
You know, it would be nice. It would be nice if the support would also bring the
Try to
fuel
go around him.
tank. Because tanks are supposed to eventually also run out of fuel, right? So they need to refuel, and for that the support would be the go-to guy.
Maybe new weapon, new ammo, new gun of
Yeah,
new
change,
bullets for
change
the
of
tank,
weapon.
new shells.
extra grenades.
Yeah, we
maybe.
just discussed the different types.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
ammo.
there are different types of rifles that the rifleman could carry. You know.
Yep,
Sure,
that's
sure.
something that if the support role is able to do that and bring more for several members on the
Not sure where he
battlefield,
is now.
then
I walked all
his
the way
role is more shiny.
Okay, that was that for this video of the infantry role. Thank you for listening. We make more videos in the future, and we see what this game will be. See you next time.